It's been since 1986 that LEGO AFOS such as Daniel Lewa have been asking, where is my Legend of Zelda LEGO set? Give it to me now. No, seriously, should you actually buy the Deku Tree? Daniel Lewa, yes or no?
It's more complicated than that, and we're going to get into the pros, the cons, the upsides, the downsides, why or why not you may want to get this set.
We actually do follow through our last video, should you actually buy Barador? Well, we got that off the list, as you can see. So now let's get to the bottom of the Deku Tree. And no, we're not talking about Deku from My Hero Academia, guys. We're actually talking about the Great Deku Tree 2-in-1 LEGO set, which has been revealed recently. And Daniel Lay was the biggest Legend of Zelda fan known to man on planet Earth. Your first impression when you first laid your eyes on this in 90 words or less?
This thing is beautiful. This thing is so exciting. This thing is horribly overpriced. And it's on a depressing black box. But that being said, this set looks so exciting.
So let's separate the price and the set real briefly, can we? We'll get to the price. But it does come with two builds, the Breath of the Wild Deku Tree and the Ocarina of Time Deku Tree. It does appear in both games. Just side by side, like, do you think this is accurate to the Breath of the Wild depiction of the tree?
Yeah, I think the designer, Wes Talbot, really captured the shaping of the face really well. The blossoms and everything are a little lacking on the top, especially if you're looking at the art. Like, this is a very full tree, and on the legs, I was like, okay, some hinting at blossoms and stuff like that. But otherwise, everything else about it, the whole setting, feels like you're in the Korok forest.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just there are some Easter eggs here. It looks like we actually have a printed Korok seed piece if we look at the top here, as well as a printed fairy piece if you're a little bit low on health. That may just come in handy. Also, a apple for the ingredients for Link's cooking. It's nice to include those Easter eggs, right?
You would hope in a set like this that's trying to pay homage to these iconic games that they would bring some of these things in where every part of the world is basically a reference, and it really seems like they've done that here.
As we can see on the inside of the tree, Link is now cooking. What ingredients is he cooking with?
So as far as I can tell, you've got Hylian shrooms, you've got iron shrooms to increase your defense. That's just fantastic to actually have just these little, these are two-piece little builds, and yet they immediately evoke what ingredients they're supposed to be.
Another reference here, a buildable creature, it looks like, from Breath of the Wild.
Not just any creature, but Hestu himself. He's the man with the maracas, and he will give you increased inventory, spaces for weapons and everything, in exchange for Korok seeds. You can go around, find all the Koroks that are in this set, give him the Korok seeds.
Just buildable figures, I think, are going a long way with this set to add the extra, detail and value, make you feel like you're in-game. So Breath of the Wild one looks pretty good, but we also have the Ocarina of Time version, a little bit different. How do you think they did with this one from the games?
This is clearly the Ocarina of Time version, especially the drooping eyebrows and the mustache. Props for the designer for taking probably the similar pile of pieces and making two very distinct looking sets that are pretty much different in almost every way except for the colors.
And we have some new unique villains and NPCs on this one as well.
Yeah, so you have like the Venus flytrapping things, which are the Deku Baba that you can fight, also in Skyward Sword, and the Deku Tree Sprout, which you can actually find inside of the Deku Tree itself in the game. Very cool. They captured that. All of these details are printed, like on the Deku Tree Sprout, on the Korok faces, all of those things. It doesn't look like there's a sticker inside.
Hey, nothing wrong with stickers. There is also one other buildable creature inside of the Ocarina of Time Deku Tree.
It's the Skulltula, which is a boss you fight inside of the Deku Tree. And this actually has a function where it can drop from above and you can fight it. You basically have like a mini little dungeon in here, treasures and fire and everything. So it's cool that they could kind of capture some of the essence of that in this set.
Ocarina of Time version also does come with a side build of Link's origins in his home. Looks really nice with the fairy and the Zelda lettering on the sign here, make you feel like you're actually in the game. The set does look pretty cool, right? As a set. Would it be that fun to build? Maybe. I don't know. Is it fun to build Lego trees? That's actually Daniel Lewo's least favorite part about Lego, is building Lego trees. But his most wanted thing in Lego is Lego Legend of Zelda, so it is kind of a little bit of a predicament. So build experience-wise, do you think this will be fulfilling or satisfying?
I think it'll be satisfying because at almost every step of the way, you're building something familiar, whether it's an ingredient or a creature, and that's going to be the best part. building the branches is going to suck. But, if that's the means to the end, so be it.
Yeah, totally. But let's get to, frankly, the real reason why you're gonna buy this set. Okay, the minifigures is the main reason that we're gonna buy this set. Let's start with the Breath of the Wild versions of Link and Zelda. They do have some kind of angry looking faces. They like kind of like a straight line as a mouth. I get it. That's how they are in the game, but it does look a little disturbing on my end. They do have alternate faces. I'm assuming Zelda also does, but we know Link has the screaming face. How do you think they did for the representation of the Breath of the Wild characters?
Pretty much every detail from their costumes is captured perfectly. And these are characters that are given the real premium treatment, almost like CMF level quality, dual molded arms, dual molded legs, the crazy heads. It remains to be seen if the ears are dual molded or just printed on, but even so, it looks fantastic. Very clearly how their hair looks in the games. I think the coolest part about these figures, though, is the accessories, where you have the Sheikah Slate, which is like the representation of the Nintendo Switch, basically, in the game. Very crucial, because that's how you see your map and your photos and your inventory. So having that as a printed piece, so cool. And then as well as the Traveler's Sword and Shield for Link. I think it's awesome that they included these, even though they're kind of basic weapons from the beginning of the game. So much of Breath of the Wild is finding weapons that are terrible and making the most of them until they break, and you get something better. And so representing that here is a very good touch.
And then we do also have the Ocarina of Time minifigures, which are, surprise, more Links. We have Adult Link and Young Link. Both can be found in Super Smash Bros. Melee and Ultimate. Looks like we do actually get the actual Ocarina of Time in a new mold. Young Link has his iconic wooden shield. Let's be honest, these versions of Link are going to be the most nostalgic, and honestly, a lot of people are going to be buying it just for this nostalgia factor. It makes me think of Super Smash Bros, and I'm like, crap, do I really have to buy this set to finish my Super Smash Bros minifigure collection of Steve, Sonic, and Isabelle?
I think the coolest part, almost like the main reason to get this set, is for the Master Sword and the Hylian Shield. Holy cow, these are perfect. The Master Sword having the kind of like the opalescent quality to it with the dual molded nature, and the Hylian Shield just being this perfectly printed part. These are the most iconic weapons in the whole series, maybe of all of video gaming. So having them represented here in LEGO is just so desirable. I think this minifigure lineup is exceptionally good for what you get. Sure, you could have a ton more figures at this price point, but for the figures that we got, all of these are just home runs.
Except where is Ganondorf? I'm just joking. No, it makes sense for this set. So the best part is the minifigures, but in order to get the minifigures, you have to pay a certain price. What would that price exactly be, Daniel Lewa?
$300 in the US.
And how many pieces would that be, Daniel Lewa?
For 2,500 pieces, that hurts.
When you think of $300 Lego sets, what sets do you think of?
At least originally, the Daily Bugle was $300 with a huge figure lineup, a giant skyscraper, tons of references. The Natural History Museum is $300, just the biggest, giantest modular ever. Incredible. Ninjago City Gardens was originally $300 for like 5,500 pieces or something crazy like that. Like, those are hard to compare to. Those are like S tier sets, and this set is nice. It is a very nice set, but $300 does not feel like worth the amount of stuff you're getting here.
And honestly, I hate to say it, but if I'm paying $300 for an 18+ Lego tree, I would hope that it would be fully completed and not be a facade and exposed in the back. Sorry, I really did have to say it, and I had to be the one to go ahead and say that. I can see the details, I can see the printed pieces, I can see the brand new molds, I can see all of that. But to me, it still doesn't equate to $300. These companies can choose what price to put their Lego sets at, and you can justify it however you want in your mind of, oh, it's a IP tax. Oh, it's because it's a 2-in-1 build that took extra development time. But in reality, this set could be much lower, and they're still going to make tons and tons of profit off of it. This is just the most that they know they can sell it for. Same with Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and you Zelda suckers just ate that up now, didn't ya? No, I'm just joking. Shout out to all the Zelda fans out there. We love you. But we're trying to help you determine in your mind if you are actually going to buy this or not. So do you think that the value is here? Minifigures, build experience, play experience, display ability is the value here for this price?
You have to be a pretty devoted Zelda fan to fork out $300 for this. Sure, you get 2 different builds you can make, but you'll only ever have one built at any given time, and I'm sure not all of the pieces are going to be used for each one. So if you have one on display, you have a whole bunch of unused pieces. So you get that choice, But I would have almost rather seen just like, well, just do 2 separate ones that are cheaper and you can get whichever one you want. Because realistically, who is going to go back and forth and build both? It's a lot of pieces to take apart and rebuild. That being said, both trees look fantastic. The design is amazing. The accessories are fantastic. The prints are so cool. The figures are the highlight here. So if you're thinking like, well, should you buy this set? Well, do you like Lego trees? Okay. Do you like Legend of Zelda? Do you really love these figures? Or do you have $300 of disposable Lego income? All those things are satisfied. Yeah, you can get this set. I mean, essentially, you're paying $300 for 4 incredible figures and a nice backdrop for them to sit on. It's not too harsh to say.
It is harsh to say, just for the fact that this is a Breath of the Wild Lego set. The only way to play Breath of the Wild is on a Nintendo Switch. A Nintendo Switch is $300. If you have $300 to go towards something Zelda related, well, it should probably be a Nintendo Switch. You know, there's the argument of, okay, we have Zelda, we just want our Zelda Lego sets and we're willing to pay whatever we want to get there. And I would feel the same way, guys. Hey, I paid $80 for the X-Jet, the X-Men jet. I really did, because that's how much I love X-Men, and they know that they could get away with it. And they're doing the exact same thing here. We're not going to tell you, you have to buy this or you don't have to buy this, but I am going to ask Daniel Lewa, are you going to be buying this based on everything that we've deduced and analyzed today?
Yeah, I think I will. Either that or hope for some Christmas sponsor or somebody, because it really is everything that we have wanted as Lego fans and Zelda fans coming together and celebrating that. The 2 of the best hobbies. I think the most exciting part about this is that Eiji Aonuma, the creator of Zelda, said in the press release for this set that they wanted to do the Deku Tree as the first Lego Legend of Zelda collab, mostly because it's cross-generational with both Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild. But that word first gives us a lot of hope, because that means that, oh, you may not have to spend $300 to get these figures, because these are very iconic main character figures. They very well could show up in smaller play scale sets down the line. It may be worth waiting until we see what's revealed for the next year, just before you decide to really get this. So Methuselah, as a non-Zelda fan, where did you get this?
Well, if you preface it like that I'm not a Zelda fan, then it's pretty obvious that my answer is an astounding no, and I actually wouldn't recommend it either, because I feel like you're supporting something a little bit schemy and a little bit suspicious by doing this. Because that $300 for me is going straight to buy the new Nintendo Switch number 2 that's going to come out. And then I could play even more Zelda games if I wanted to.
As a huge Super Smash Bros. Fan, would you not want to get this Zelda Link, Young Link, so they're all in the games?
That would be great. But no, there is a certain price that you have to pay to obtain these, and it is not adding up. I would definitely recommend wait until the next Zelda sets come out, and they might be of much better value, or they may be worse. I get the significance of this set in particular. It is iconic to both games, but I feel like there's 10,000 other Zelda locations and builds that you could do that would be 10 times more interesting and compelling as a build than the tree.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's why I'm getting very excited. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but we're seeing what Lego's doing with Lord of the Rings and how that is just like one of the greatest Lego themes of all time now. We're seeing what they could be starting with Zelda, and it's like, okay, like when they hit hard. And so we can only hope that they continue this, the quality at least that we're seeing here, into more affordable sets, into cheaper sets, or into more expensive sets that are like Hyrule Castle, $500, whatever. And it's like this giant thing. I don't see why not. It'd be so cool.
You could have $300 and $500 Lego sets, but the value needs to be there. So hopefully this video helped you determine if you should actually get the Great Deku Tree, because this is, is a financial decision you're going to have to make. Are you going to be buying it? Yes or no?
And if you made it this far in the video, comment pseudo wudo. We'll know you're a real one.
Speaking of real ones, Oliver J. Ames, the Ginger Lender. I'm Lidme and Dr. Dan. Thank you guys for being members on the channel. Guys, if you want to help support Daniel Lewa's Great Deku Tree 2-in-1 Lego set fun, go ahead and become a member on the channel. Click the join button on desktop and you'll get some emotes and shout outs on every single video. It would just warm his heart so much, and it really support our channel. So thank you so much for watching. And hey, 300 rupees. Are you keeping it or spending it?